Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Clique, and I think you guys can tell from the title of the video that we're going to be doing a keyboard tier list. I want to preface this video by saying a few things. First, I got the idea to do this video from Too Much Tech. We're going to be using his tier list, so special thanks to him. I'll be putting a link to his video in the description. Also, a special thanks to Boardsy, because I also saw him do a mice tier list, and I may be doing that later, but I got the idea from watching his video and Too Much Tech's video, so I'll put a link to both of their channels down below in the description. So we're going to be doing a tier list of these, and I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinions on each one and why I think the keyboard should rank wherever it ranks on the list. But yeah, I haven't used all these keyboards, but we're doing some research. We'll be checking each one of these keyboards out, and I'll let you guys know where I think it ranks and why. So yeah, that's pretty much all you guys need to know, and without further ado, let's get right into the tier list. So let's go. All right, first thing is let's do a lot of the keyboards that I do know and have tried. So starting off the list, let's go with the Ducky 1-2 Mini. Now I think this definitely deserves to be in the S tier. A couple reasons why. First, the price is really good for what you're getting. Ducky has some of the best keycaps that I've ever personally used. And just, I think a lot of people in the tech community and just gamers in general have really come to liking. It's not a surprise why this keyboard blew up. It had a lot going for it. $99 price tag, getting PVD double shot, backlit keycaps. You're getting really good stabilizers, a really good bottom out feeling, overall good quality of, I mean, the switch selection's pretty, it's pretty good. It's not just red, blue, and brown. It's like you can also choose speed silver, silent reds, and a couple other options. And I think they now offer kale options, but you get multiple height adjustability options. You're getting those good PVD keycaps, really good typing feeling, $99. And overall, yeah, I just think the overall quality that Ducky brings to their keyboards definitely makes it worth the money. So I will leave the Ducky 1-2 Mini in the S tier. Now, same thing with the SF. It's pretty much the same exact keyboard, except that you're also getting the 65% form factor. And I actually prefer the 65% form factor over the 1-2 Mini. So I'm definitely going to leave that there. All right, now going on to the Red Dragon K530. See, this keyboard, I'm probably going to put it in the D tier. Okay, and this is actually, I'll put it in the C tier. This is why. So as far as pricing, it is fairly priced at like that $60 price point, but I did have a lot of connection issues that I really could not forgive it for, and it had those connection issues. There's nothing really special. You get your typical red, blue, or brown option, but I don't see why you'd pick this up over an RK61. And it did feature hot swap, which is something that I like, but it only features hot swap with other Red Dragon switches. So that kind of made it not worth it for me, because I'm not gonna, like, those switches that you're gonna be swapping out aren't special. You can pick them up on other keyboards, and if we're only swapping it out with red, blue, and brown, or like switches that aren't that hard to get your hands on, it's like, what's the point of having the hot swap? And also, it just wasn't anything special. It had USB type C, I believe, but the type C was on the side of the keyboard, so I didn't like how the placement of the actual USB, like wherever you'd plug it in at. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, so the connectivity issues that I got, I actually returned the keyboard. It wasn't that impressive. Yeah, so it has a L-shaped type C cable, so that is good. And I'm surprised that the Bluetooth wasn't that good considering it was 5.0, but overall, like, the connection issues I had, the lack of switch options, and actually there is only brown switches on here. So yeah, I don't know, it just didn't offer enough that made me want to put it in any tier higher. And yeah, like, it has hot swappable brown switches, but the hassle of like getting those specific switches and then swapping them out, I don't know, it doesn't warrant it. So actually, I'm going to lower this to the D tier just because it isn't special. We're spending $65 on a keyboard, and I don't see any reason why you'd pick this up over the RK61. Now the GK61. So that's actually the keyboard that I am using right now, and I'm going to put this in the B tier. And the reason why is it has the Gatoron optical yellow switches, which are now it is my favorite optical linear switch. So that alone and having that hot swap functionality is really good. It also has the USB type C, so custom cables, coiled cables are good to go here. The stabs are okay, nothing special, and the RGB lighting isn't that bright, especially compared to the boards like the Ducky 1-2 Mini. Like, I have to take in aesthetics into account as well. At least aesthetics matter to me, especially if you're only getting 1 or 2 keyboards. Being able to have that extra flair is nice. So also the keycaps are ABS, not PBT, but I'd say if you can get some better keycaps, lube the stabs, and possibly, yeah, if you can do those 2 things, you could definitely put this in the A tier. But just straight out of the box, this definitely should go in the B tier. It's a good keyboard, but it's not, you know, it's a good keyboard, but it isn't in this higher tier. But the price doesn't, and the price is good for it. Like, the price you're paying for a GK61, it should be in a B tier. If the price was higher, then it might be lower, but since the price is, I feel like it's appropriately priced for what you're getting. So it is in the B tier. It isn't amazing, but it isn't, you know, terrible. All right, GMMK. This is a keyboard I'd put in the S tier as well, mostly because you're getting hot swap, amazing build quality, absolutely love it. Getting great keycaps. You're getting a lot of customization options as well. You can get the bare bones set for I think $70. You can get it with a bunch of different switch options, Kale, Cherry, and Gatoron, I believe, from Glorious's website. So we're just gonna check, and these are priced at $110, and they did upgrade the newer versions to USB Type C. The White Ice edition that I have, that is with USB Type C. So $110, you're getting the hot swap, you're getting PBD keycaps, you are getting a great option of switches. You can go bare bones. I love how they have the keycap puller already. You can attach it to the back of the case, so you really have no excuse to lose the keycap puller. It comes with some extra switches, some extra goodies. You're getting a lot of different size options, and overall, just really great overall quality. I love the casing they use on here, or like the board they're using, and the stabilizers are good. So really no reason why it shouldn't. I really don't have any complaints with this keyboard, and that's why it is in the S tier, and it does everything you're doing for it. And like I said, the price is good, only $10 more than the 1-2 Mini. You're getting hot swap, you're getting an amazing aluminum case, and yeah, so that's why I think it should be in the S tier. Let's see, Massdrop Alt. So this is another keyboard. I'm gonna put this in the A tier. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this in the A tier, and here's why. So I like what you're getting here. It's definitely an amazing looking keyboard, but the price of it and the lack of availability is what's gonna kill it for me. So here's why. Let's go. So it's $180. You're getting a really good quality, and the quality isn't the main problem that I have, but it's just that the Massdrop Alt isn't always available for purchase. On top of that, it's $180, and it definitely is. I think like it's worth the money, but pretty much for $180, you're getting, yes, you're getting USB Type C, you're getting the hot swap functionality, you're getting great build quality, you're getting some good aesthetics, but it's kind of in between of like, okay, are we gonna go full custom, or are we just gonna go with like a consumer board? So I'd say this is good for like if you're almost ready for a custom, but you just want a keyboard that can swap out switches. But then at the same time, it's like, why don't you just get a GMMK? But if you want that extra aesthetic flair, are you gonna pay $70 for it? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So lack of availability that like I've seen from it, these aren't always in stock, and then also the high price kind of makes me want to put this in the A tier. Like, it's definitely, I think it could be worth the money depending on who you are. I just think for most people, I don't know, the price is just kind of barring it. If it was at a lower price point, I could see this going into S tier. But Otherwise, I'm gonna have to put this in the A tier. Great keyboard though. RK61, also B tier. Another great keyboard. This is probably one of the best budget options you can go for, and it's Bluetooth, wireless, so that's great. It's always at that low $50 price point. You can pick blue, brown, or red, and this is a really good keyboard if you want like your first keyboard, and it's kind of a great alternative to the Am Pro 2 if you don't want to be shelling out, you know, $100+ for a keyboard and you kind of just want to get into it. This is a keyboard that I always recommend just because you get wireless, you get wired, you get USB Type-C. Keycaps aren't the best, but it's all right. Considering the price, that's perfectly fine. And this is actually very similar to another keyboard that isn't on this list, and it's very similar to the Dreary Seer Pro Mini, which I recently reviewed, and I'm almost certain that those keyboards are like identical, like nearly identical. Same battery life, same all that, but overall keycaps aren't amazing and nothing too special here. It doesn't hot swap or anything, but for $50 can't really ask for much more, and the great pricing combined with the USB Type-C, you know, the decent typing feel, definitely deserves to be in the B tier in my opinion. All right, now we are going to look at, like I said, Tofu 65. Hold on. This deserves to be in the customs. Customs don't count. One of the most just beautiful keyboards, like absolutely beautiful. And yeah, this is something you're going to customize and make it your own special. Like, look at this aviator. They got a special coil cable on here. And overall, it just deserves to be in that customs because it's a custom and you're going to make it exactly how you like it. Same thing with this. Oh, shoot. Same thing with this. Custom. All right. Now, let's look at... All right. So the SK64, this is pretty much the same thing as the GK61, but with a different form factor. I'm going to put this in the B tier mainly because it is basically the same thing. I've had no issues with it. I haven't heard any problems with it. And yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. So I don't really have much else to say other than you're still getting those great optical switches. You're not getting, you know, the absolute best, but you know, it is the same thing, essentially. KBD 75, another custom. I'm gonna put that up there. All right, let's see. Is this the G915? This is that low profile Logitech keyboard. Let me just make sure. Light speed. Okay, it's wireless, low profile, 22 millimeters. What else? So you're going to get that fast speed because it's a low actuation, distance, and force. Clicky, tactiles, and linears. Okay, so I haven't personally used this board. These aren't hot swap because it'd be a QC nightmare to have like these budget boards have hot swap. So I'm not really counting on that. But just from the price, but you get a lot of media control here. So that's a nice thing though. Micro USB. Okay, just from that, and like I said, I haven't used all these keyboards. But just from what I'm looking at, I'd probably be confident putting this in the B tier, maybe even the C tier. I'm actually probably going to put this in the C tier for a few reasons. One is micro USB. Really, there's no excuse why this shouldn't be USB Type-C. It's just superior. Second, the price of $250 for a keyboard that isn't offering you hot swap, isn't offering you USB Type-C. It does have the wireless going for it, and I know the Logitech wireless is actually really good, and you are getting some functionality with these extra buttons, and you can use this as overall. I don't see anything special. The switch option looks pretty basic, and I just don't see what would make you want to spend $250 on this. Granted, it is a full-size keyboard, but at the same time, you can get a full-size keyboard for a lot less than $250. So we'll have to put that in the C tier. And Pro 2, I think I'll also put this in the S tier as well. I've seen some people say they've had connection issues. I've seen other people say it works flawlessly. Most say it works flawlessly. So, and especially with like the newer iteration. So I think this does deserve to be in the S tier. Price is good. Everything is good. Let's go. So yeah, pretty much this is another thing, like the GMMK is hot swap, this isn't, but you are getting great wireless, getting a good option of Gatoron and Kale switches, so that's nice. You get to choose if it's black or white. Good casing. I'm assuming these are PBT. Yeah, double shot PBD keycaps. They look good overall. Nice form factor. USB type C, comes with a keycap puller, and just like from all the reviews and things that I've seen, it's a great keyboard. I really don't have anything negative to say. The price is great. You're getting wireless, you're getting PBD keycaps. It is Bluetooth 4.0 though, so that is a bit concerning, and I can see why some people may have had connection issues with this, but switch options are good and everything else looks good to me. I think it does deserve to be in that S tier, and like I've said, I've heard basically nothing but good things, and the only bad things I've heard about this keyboard are the connection issues, but I think the price is good. Now the Hades 68 keyboard. All right, so apparently this keyboard is like an upgraded version of the GK68 from my understanding. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, it kind of just looks like the same keyboard but with a dear god, 8068. All right, it does look like a solid keyboard. The price is a little bit high, but the build quality looks good. Yeah, an aluminum chest is 65%, cherry profile. Okay, USB type C. There's a great switch options. Overall, from what I'm seeing, it does look like a really good keyboard. I think I'm actually going to move this to the A tier. Getting aluminum chassis, USB type C. I've only also heard good things about this keyboard. The price is a bit high, but I think between the aluminum chassis, 65% layout, which is really nice, my favorite layout, you're getting a great option of switches. You can choose colors, and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move this actually up to the A tier. Looks good to me. All right, the Apex Pro. We're actually gonna put this in the A tier, and as opposed to some of these other keyboards, it still has those OmniPoint switches, which are gonna carry it, in my opinion, to like a higher tier than these other keyboards, just because there's still nothing like this really, and it's good. It is expensive. I really want them to make a 60% version of this, but you also get that nice LED screen on the TKL and the full size version. So I think this does deserve to be in those higher tier. Switches, like I said, are some of the fastest. Not saying they are the fastest, because now I'm hearing people say these aren't the fastest or something else is the fastest, but switches are great. Switches can be changed to your liking. I think this is okay. Let me check this out. Apex Pro TKL. Let's check the cord. So it's not USB type C, but you are getting some really good switches. You're getting switches that are only available on this keyboard. Build quality looks good. The wrist rest. You're getting the OLED screen, and like I haven't had any issues with the SteelSeries engine software. I've only had good experiences with it. The wrist rest is detachable. Getting an aluminum frame, which is good. I've used this keyboard. I just don't own it. Overall, like I think it does deserve to be in that A tier, even though and the lighting on the Apex Pro is actually really good. I'm gonna keep it in that A tier just because of the switches, and like I said, there's really nothing like them, so that's kind of gonna push it higher than maybe it should be. And you know, it's not ridiculously priced, coming in at $180. If they make this into a 60% version, which is something I really want, and somehow they kept the LED screen, and it was like slightly cheaper, since the full size is I think $20 more expensive than the TKL, that is something I'd be very excited for. And I would not be surprised if they launched their 60% version of the Apex Pro when they also launched their supposedly rumored Aerox new line of wireless mice. Huntsman Mini, I'm also gonna put this I'm actually going to put this in the B tier, and here's why. They have some of my favorite Clique optical switches, and the keyboard is optical, but it's priced a little bit too high for my liking, so we're going to go to the Huntsman Mini. But they did a lot right here, so I might actually change my mind. But here's the thing, $120, And you're getting some great Clique optical switches, which, like I said, are some of my favorite switches. You're getting the PBD keycaps. You're getting the USB Type-C, so custom cables, coiled cables are good to go here. But you're not getting any hot swap. And actually, the stabilizers are really good on this keyboard. I just don't like the pricing of it. I feel like this should have been at $110. But you know what? I'm actually going to move this up to the A tier. Because you are getting that aluminum. You're getting that aluminum frame. You're getting USB Type-C. The typing feel is amazing. And like I said, the price just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. I feel like I'm always like looking for that $100 to $110 area. Once you start going to like 120 and up, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way depending on like what you're offering. And I think the fact that it wasn't hot swap is making me think it should be in B. But not everything, especially a lot of like boards that are being made by like bigger companies like Logitech, Razer, they're not going to have those types of features just because it's a QC nightmare. There could be more user error. But overall, like for $120, I think it is worth the money, and you're getting a lot of great stuff here. And the lighting is pretty good. It's not the best. It's not on par with the 1.2 Mini. I'd say it's better than the GMMK, but it's nothing special.